Hi guys. Ooh, spinning. Hi guys, so today I'm just going to have a bit of a quick clear up in the electronics lab, at least on the bench itself, and I had a couple of questions about those 2U Rackmount PCs that I have many of sitting under my bench. So I'll do a bit of a tidy up. I'm not going to subject you to the whole thing. We'll speed that along, and then we'll just get one of those PCs, take it apart a bit, show you what's inside, what sort of case it is, etc. I've had a couple of people who are interested in those machines. They just want to know a bit more about them. Rack mount machines can be a little bit awkward in terms of how they're laid out and how much space is in the processor, so it's worth documenting that properly so that people can have a look, and if anyone wants them then they can get in touch. Okie doke. So in the meantime, let's do a bit of a tidy, and I'll see you on the flip side. So I did the thing. Shall we look upon it? Let us gaze upon it. Oh. Ain't it pretty? Yeah. Let's put some crap on it and take it apart. Let's do that. Right. So, these things have been set in my garage for a while. This one had the dubious honour of being under the bench immediately when I painted it, so now it's full of paint on it. I'm sure it'll survive. These are actually, I think they're a Chenbro case. I will provide a link. They're an older version than is currently on the website, but it's pretty well reflected in what's there. 2U case. We'll take very standard type slide rails. There's quite a lot of different fittings on there, so you're pretty universal in terms of what slide rails they'll take. These are micro ATX. They are configured for a riser, which they have a PCI riser in them. I'll show you in a minute. There's no way to convert them, unfortunately, to like small form factor short height cards or anything like that. Interestingly, the power supply is not in the back here; it's actually further in front, and then it's a power connection on the back. You get quite a few drive bays in here, but on the front you just get a 3.5 and a 5 1/4. These have got a removable dust filter on the front as well. There's quite substantial fans. And when I say substantial, I mean fucking noisy. That's one of the reasons I haven't used them as much as I would otherwise. There's soft power buttons and whatnot. Nice little indicators. Covered in paint in this instance. So yeah, I've zapped all the hard drives on these, so it's all good. See if we can't pop the hood. Rubbish. Okay. So this one's in its, I think it's in its original configuration, this one. Yeah. So it's I think it's like it's an NVIDIA chipset Athlon 64 CPU. We've got 80 drives in them. Standard ATX power supply. The only thing to note is that if you want to change power supply, because they're a bit weedy in these, it needs to be a front to back airflow rather than anything with a big 120mm fan in the bottom or anything like that. Two big, these are powerful rather than pleasant, these two 80mm fans in here. There's also some connections for other fans. I think is there a fan at the back in these? Yes, there is a fan at the back. There's I think it's a 50mm fan at the back. And yeah, you've got micro ATX board. The position of the riser is fixed. You don't have to use a PCI riser. There are others available, and this will take. I've put PCI Express risers in these. The difficulty is getting a motherboard which has got the slot in the right position. So yeah, they work just fine. They come apart nicely. They're quite. They're pretty rigid and they're pretty rugged. They've even got chassis intrusion micro switch. Good if you want a micro switch. The environment they came out of, they got wired in with a little jack socket on the back here, and that was used. Those were all wired back to a single point, so you could do a remote reset manually on the machine from a little panel. The wiring's a little bit smooshed in these, but that's actually another two 3.5 bays, and there's two 3.5 bays there. So you can actually get a decent amount of drives in these. They'll make quite pleasant little RAID boxes for running FreeNAS or anything like that. But yeah, the boards that are in them are absolute shite and should be avoided at all costs. Almost all of the ones that I've tried to do anything with have failed. I think it's just a question of the age of the boards and the way that they were originally installed has put pressure on the board, so there's quite often just motherboard failures which will be fixed by poking at the board and flexing things, and it's all just a bit not very robust. But yeah, that's them. Dimensions. Just a minute. Okay, so dimensions, what have we got? It is about 500 deep, 525 with the handles on the front. They're removable, by the way. You can just take the handles themselves off there and leave the ears on, or you can take the rack ear brackets off entirely. Funnily enough, oh, look at that, a whole 19 inches wide. Unbelievable. 2U deep. If you don't know what a rack unit is, they're 2 rack units deep. If you don't know what a rack unit is, and you're after one of these, you're probably in trouble. But yeah, if there's a good cause that these can go to, if you've got a project that you need them for, or anything else justifiable, then yeah, give me a shout. The reason that I acquire a lot of this stuff is so that I can use it for helping friends with projects or general projects that I come across, things that people need. There's no point in having it if it's not going to someone else to help, really. So, apart from what I learned from things. So yeah, I think we'll leave it there for now, boys and girls. Give us a shout if you have any interest in these boxes, or if you'd like to congratulate me for all my hard work clearing my desk. That would be grand. Yeah, see you in the next one.